October 2017. She became a member of Saturday Morning Live in June 2019. Her home club is Prime Timers in District 6, and she is also president of the recently formed Contest Mastery Club. She took second place in the 2019 District 6 International Speech Contest and second place in the virtual 2020 District 106 Humorous Speech Contest. She currently serves as the Area 44 Director in District 6. Please help me welcome Richelle Schmitz for her speech, the Area 44 and 45 Speech Contest. Richelle.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our most welcome guests. We are in the thick of speech contest season in Toastmasters, where brave souls all over the globe are competing for the opportunity to win their area, division, or district level contests, and even have the chance to compete in the World Championship of Public Speaking. Those of us not competing this year, or who are serving in district officer roles and are therefore ineligible to compete, such as yours truly, are encountering a different sense of busyness during this contest season. We are busy volunteering for various levels of speech contests or organizing them. As Ed already mentioned, I'm an area director this year, so I have the responsibility of organizing a speech contest for the clubs in my area in March. Because Area 45 does not have an area director, Division E Director Tara Bolanda and I thought it would be best to hold a joint contest for Area 44 and 45 so we could pool the most resources and ensure a smooth event. In my speech today, I will talk about my experience organizing the Area 44 and 45 speech contest. I will specifically focus on how I acquired and motivated my volunteers, how I worked with my team to bring the contest to fruition, and sum up how everything went with the speech contest. Quick disclaimer, Tara served as my co-chair, but because she's a division director, I knew she had a lot of additional work on her plate. I took on the lion's share of organizing this contest, although we met regularly to touch base. It certainly takes a village to put on a speech contest, and I knew that I would need to fill a variety of roles: Toastmaster, Chief Judge, voting judges, ballot counters, timers, and a Zoom moderator. I reached out to our very own Jamie Richter and asked if she would be willing to serve as Zoom moderator. I appealed to her technical expertise in all things Zoom related. Fortunately, she was available, but I wanted to have a second Zoom moderator for this event. My friend Ansley Lovegren offered earlier this year to volunteer for the Zoom master role, but wasn't sure if she would be able to help due to a work conflict. Thankfully, her work conflict disappeared and she was able to help, and I could move on to the next roles on my list. I was also incredibly lucky to have another renowned District 6 Toastmaster volunteer to help, and that gentleman was Paul Lubinsky. I had asked him if there was a role that he preferred, and he said he most enjoyed being a contest Toastmaster, so that was the role I assigned him. Next up on the role fulfillment list was Chief Judge, and there was no person I wanted to fulfill this role more than past regional advisor, Mary Swanson. I had seen her in action as Chief Judge at previous contests and knew she would be the best person for this job. When I reached out to her and asked if she would be willing to serve as our Chief Judge, I appealed to her contest experience, expertise, and her organizational prowess. I knew she would be like a cowboy rounding up all the cattle. She'd whip all those judges into shape. Mary was available and even offered to find the tie-breaking judge for us. That's how awesome she is. Once Tara and I set up the Zoom links for the contestants and judges briefings, we could sit back and let Paul and Mary do their work. Finding judges, ballot counters, and timers was a bit trickier. I emailed all the club officers in Area 44 and 45, asking them to volunteer for these important roles. I encouraged them to use this volunteer opportunity to cultivate their leadership skills, learn more about speech contests, and serve the district as well as their own clubs. I reached out to other Toastmasters I have befriended this year and asked them to help as well. One division director, Troy Ducart, sent an email blast to his entire division, and I was able to get 3 volunteers from his efforts for my own speech contest. I extended profuse amounts of gratitude to him for his help, as well as every Toastmaster who helped with the contest. Once all the volunteer roles were filled, we got down to the final steps of contest prep. Paul, Tara, and I made sure we contacted our contestants to get their eligibility forms and contestant profiles. Mary made sure the judges filled out their eligibility forms as well. Paul and Mary held contestants and judges briefings to ensure that all participants and judges knew the timing signals, contest rules, and could get any questions they had answered. Finally, the evening of the contest arrived, and everything went smoothly. Tara and I couldn't have asked for a better area contest, and we were so thankful to everyone who helped us. I sent out certificates of appreciation to everyone who helped us make the Area 44 and 45 contest a success. If you will be organizing a speech contest later this year or sometime in the future, here are some of the things I learned during my experience that can help you. First, when you are asking for volunteers, appeal to their expertise and experience. Perhaps they are a fantastic contest Toastmaster or are extremely skilled at hosting smooth Zoom meetings. Second, remind potential volunteers of the skills they will learn and the ways in which they will grow personally by helping with speech contests. Third, you can never say thank you enough. Please make sure your volunteers know how grateful you are for their assistance. You really can't put on a contest without them. Finally, be clear in your communication and your expectations early on and often so everyone is on the same page. I learned a lot by organizing an area speech contest this year, and these skills will help me as I lead teams to complete projects in the future. My hope is that you will also take these skills back to the teams you lead so your projects, whether they are speech contests or something else entirely, will turn out successfully. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Richelle.